Our first video in our No More Back Pain series, acing the brace. Okay, we talk about acing the brace, and the big difference between people that suffer from back pain and people that don't is the activation of our trunk muscles. Okay, and just in normal daily life, when I reach over to pick something up, or I twist, or whatever where I'm using my back, my trunk muscles are supposed to just reflexively tighten up in order to protect my back. And this is just something that a healthy body is going to do on its own. So we have some sort of a back trauma. We incur some sort of an injury, and these muscles, because they encounter pain, end up shutting down or not activating as readily as they potentially could. All right, and as a result, they don't protect our back. We start to get little micro traumas in our back, and our back pain becomes worse. So one of the first things we want to do is just become conscious of this and start to tighten up when we're moving. And an example of that would be, you go to punch somebody in the gut. So I go to poke you in the gut. I'm doing this, and you're going to tighten up because you don't want to be, poked in the gut. Obviously, you want to be tight here. It's solid. Okay, it's the same thing anytime we're bending over or we're twisting or anything else. And what we want to do is what is called tune our trunk muscles to different lifting tasks. Okay, and so they say, I want about a 30% activation just in daily life. Okay, and so that just means that when I'm standing here talking to you, okay, just a slight tightening of my abs. And so I'm not going to tighten up as hard as I can, because I'm not going to be able to breathe, but I'm conscious of it, and I'm just sort of, I can pat myself in the stomach, just remind myself to keep these things on. Eventually, it's just going to be something that you do, but certainly in the beginning you want to be aware of that, okay? And again, as you're standing and you're sitting throughout the day, just thinking about keeping your trunk muscles active. Now, when I go to pick something up, okay, let's say that I'm bending over to pick, up an object or something like that, I want to consciously tighten up harder. Okay, so what I like to do is I'll put my hands in my stomach and tighten to my hand, then I'll put my hands to my side and tighten here. I'll put my hands behind me and tighten up, all right? Another way that I can think about this is to just kind of wrap a band around my waist, okay, and kind of tighten the band. The band is trying to pull me in and make me more hollow, okay, and so I'm just tightening up to not let that happen, just to kind of stay tight, all right? So, let's say I'm picking up a light object, maybe I want about 50 to 60%, all right? So I'm tightening up, I bend over, I pick it up, all right? Now, if you're picking up a heavy load, okay, something that weighs a lot, let's say maybe a jug of water at work, or something where you're unloading groceries or something like that, you want to tighten up as hard as you can, all right? Obviously, you still want to be able to breathe, but very, very stiff here, okay? Just make sure you're stiff. So again, when I bend over to pick something up, I'm tight, because what will end up happening is if I don't, is I'll lose this, my back will round, and then we start to get sort of, trauma here. This goes along with the idea of maintaining the neutral spine. So I keep a flat back, all right, I'm leaning forward. At the same time, I'm tightening my abs so I can bend over, pick something up, come down onto one knee, hold, and stand up. And that's kind of the idea, is that based upon what you're doing, you want to make sure that you're tight just based upon kind of the level of the activity. So just think about keeping your abs tight. Obviously, you're not going to think about it all the time, but just be conscious of, if you do start to feel pain, you do start to feel kind of wearing here, tighten up, or if you're doing something, it starts to wear on you a little bit, that's a postural sign that, you might be getting some issues. So again, just tighten up, give yourself a little reminder, and just do that throughout the day, and you're going to be good to go.